Hey y'all, it's Lily, the queen of pole control from like way back in the day before I got my neck and my back messed up. And I've had some people asking how I stayed fit and healthy through all the years that I'd been a dancer. Now, there's a stigma behind being around a pole, which we are going to substitute with a tree today. You're on your walk, you're out in nature, and you're trying to work out, and you're wanting to be fit, and you're looking at yourself like, man, I really would love to have those six pack abs. And you know that to some extent, some people do have thicker skin, they're bigger boned, they're shaped differently. But what I'm going to attempt to do is show you a couple tricks that I utilized before I got pregnant, after I got pregnant, and obviously I can still sort of do to keep myself a little bit more toned as I get older. I am 38 years old. I do only have one child. Not a drug or alcohol consumer on a regular or daily basis or anything of that. I have partaken in my fair share of partying in my youth. I have my medical cannabis card, and I do have a diagnosis of COPD, cervicalgia, and degenerative disc disease with some other issues that doctors just keep kind of sloughing off. So, what I'm going to do is show you a couple tricks. X, Kevin Gates. You guys happen to have body fat collection sites like I do, which is just below the belly button. A lot of people have them there. Some people have it along the sides of their abdominal muscles. When you go and place your hands anywhere, you have a strong arm and you have a weaker arm. Your strong arm should always go on the top. And it might not be that you are a right-handed, dominant right hand person. You could be an ambidextrous person, but when you grab a hold of a tree from the top half to the bottom half, your hand placement and how you grab a hold of it, you will be able to tell when you go to choke the shit out of it. All right, we're just gonna say it. When you, that's what you're gonna do because you're wanting to make sure that you're stable whenever you go to lift yourself up off the ground anywhere. Now, um, the other thing is when you are doing the back lift, your strong arm needs to be positioned in just the right fashion. So when you go and press in, you are not overdoing because you will hurt and tear yourself. You don't spend, I mean, I've got a messed up shoulder, but this was from a slip and fall accident. This arm, my dominant arm, I have torn because I worked the rear end right out of it. I've probably blown it out and need some rotator cuff stuff looked at. So I'm not doing any quick spins or anything like that. I want to make sure that when you're lifting yourself up, you're not injuring yourselves. I'm also a certified fitness trainer through Allison, and I want you to understand that safety comes first. Okay, so you're out on your walk, you're in the woods, and you see a tree that is just right. When you see how my hands get placed, know that my placement is in a shape that is going to keep my elbows tucked in. I'm not going to feel the pressure. You can shift and move before you ever even get your legs off of the ground. Negro, please do not. Thank you. I know you are so jealous of the laptop, honey, but I don't spend that much time with it. He is so jealous of the laptop, the phone, anything that I spend my time on. I was making food the other day. He wants to get involved with the food, but then I'm cleaning and he wants to be in the cleaning. And I'm so glad I got a boy cat instead of a boyfriend. I've only got one black male pussy in my life, and I think that's enough for me. So strong men only apply. This is what happens when you take care of yourself. So we're going to hop on this tree because I got limited time on YouTube. All right, so we're looking for this type of motion. That's really bad with my camera placement, but you can still see me. Our knees are going to want to work towards this, towards the midsection. You're placing your hands, strong arm, weak arm, see where my placement is, not to blow out my shoulder more than I already have. And then you're lifting your knees up. You can go to the side. Eventually working into a full inversion if you're able to do so. Now, when I say your strong arm, you're also wanting your strong arm to be your base if you're going to try and do something similar to that. When you go to do tricks from the side, strong arm to the top over your head. This is where you're going to be able to get that hang, but you'll also be able to pull yourself up. If you're trying to do anything, where you place your arm is going to determine how much lift you get, how you approach something, how you spin back into it, and it's on your hands. So when you're in the woods and you're exercising, just stick to the stability bracing kind of thing because you could get a little raw. Something like this without gloves could get sappy. Okay, so we're still working on the side to side placement. Oh, that was a knuckle. And just that little bit, my arms are already feeling warm. That's what happens when there's like an injury or a surge to a particular part of your body. You'll feel the heat go there because your blood cells want to work to do their job at that point. In just that little time, what little bit of belly bulge I had going on the skin. No, there might be a little fat bead in there from some chocolate. Other than that, I'm 38. You can see that just that little bit of lifting from before until now, even with my injuries, I have very toned and lean muscles. Pole fitness, the stigma that they put on it, it's a bunch of crap. Native Americans, people from all over have danced on and around trees, the maypole, things like that. When you can exercise and enjoy nature and do something that's maybe risque but not too risque, you actually feel more vibrant and healthy about yourself. Now, one other tip. Okay, so somebody has sciatica, they have a bad hip. Okay, this is something that everybody can do at their kitchen sink. And I say the kitchen sink because that sucker is typically the heaviest next to the bathtub in your house. So you know it's built right place, that it's supposed to be stable. If it hasn't had water and stuff shooting behind it and the cabinets aren't bad, your kitchen sink gives you proper placement for your hands. You get to do the booty sway, the real slow one. Okay? So if I have a bad hip, okay, I'm going to put my bad hip to the front and I lean into the sink, but I can place my feet to sink back. I can rock to the side and it stretches all right in here, takes the pressure off. Sometimes I have to press on my joints because they're different now, but to some extent, when you lean back, you get to stretch your lower lumbar, you get to stretch right here, and it helps you pop your pelvis when you do the real slow sway. Again, it's something that you can do in your kitchen sink, or I could have just done it right on this tree. I'm hoping that what little bit of here and now we can do to save ourselves from this dirty meat breath situation that we all knew about like years ago. Yeah, COVID was why this whole health kick started, folks. We heard about it in our meat. Half of us made one choice to let a state be the death of us. And then some people were like, oh, we better change up our eating. And then some people were like, oh, well, we hardly eat that way as it is. And then there were people that didn't even have access to the news media or anything like that and just kept on eating or liquid dieting themselves. So the odds of us finding a homeless bum that has meat-related COVID versus some other type of tuberculosis type respiratory thingy, highly unlikely. So stay healthy.